a minimum security thing up there off of Columbia Boulevard, and he would come and work at my shop during the day on and off for, the last 6 months that he was in there.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, the day that he got out, I took him and fed him a really good big steak dinner. The next day he started working for me at JR Industries, and he worked for me for between 10 and 12 years.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, he was a permanent fixture there.
Oh yeah, he was. And then we had the fuel and the parts deal for 11 years at Portland Speedway.
Right.
And so, that's how he got so involved with so many of the Portland people, because Russ was the face of JR Industries at the racetrack, because he was the one selling parts while we were all tearing the fenders off.
Yeah.
And, then if I did something bad out on the track, the first person I'd see when I'd come in was Russ with his smiley face standing next to my window net so nobody popped me into the window.
Playing bodyguard.
Yeah. Between him and Mr. Ed,
Yeah.
And of course, you always were in there too, and Jason. So Jason was kind of little then, but
yeah.
And other than that, I think that one of the cool stories I had was Russ wasn't supposed to. He was still in the minimum security, and I remember he wasn't supposed to leave the city of Portland.
Yeah.
And we went down to run an open comp show at Coos Bay, and I ran Dwight Espy's car. And I took Russ with me, and I was nervous about that. I didn't want to get him past Salem, and here we're going to Coos Bay. And something happened. I don't know what it was, but he was supposed to be back by 11 o'clock that night. And hell, we were still in Coos Bay at midnight. And we called up. Ed might remember this. I don't know. It was a warden or somebody we called and told him what was going on. And everything was all good. So Russ and I, we felt good because neither one of us were going to go back to jail. So. And
you're not afraid. You're not afraid to go back, are you?
Yeah. But then one of the other really cool stories was when Mr. Ed there. He probably remembers this real well. One night the car was real tight. I was running a high waller car, and you couldn't use a floor jack or an impact or anything on a car out there on the straightaway.
That was at Lebanon.
Oh, Mr. Ed there was, I don't know if he just picked it up on the fuel cell bar, but I think he laid on his back, and he just he lifted the car right off the ground in the back by himself, and Big Russ got underneath there and did all the adjustments he needed, and Ed let it down. And the grandstands just went upside down.
Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing they'd ever seen.
Yeah, I think we were in the middle of a race or something, and the car was
there was
red
a
flag.
red flag, but you could work on the car, but you couldn't jack it up. But they didn't say you couldn't lift it up.
Yeah,
they said you couldn't jack it up.
Russ told me, because I weightlifted back then. I was a little bit, I'm not as heavy as I am now, but I weightlifted back then, and Russ looked at me and says, "We got to make some adjustments to make this car better." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Come on," and he goes, "Get underneath there and lift it up." So I laid on my back, bench press it up. Russ made the adjustments, and Russ said, "Okay, we're good to go." And I put the car back down, and the whole because we did it.
The grandstands went nuts.
Yeah,
they just absolutely went nuts.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because I could feel the whole back of the car. I felt like somebody jacked the tires off the ground, and I'm looking at the looks of people, everybody's faces. It was a great time. But,
man.
Yeah, Russ. He was. And then like Mariah, Shelley was pregnant, picking up Russ at the place there for that 4 or 5 months before he actually went to work for us, and she was pregnant with Mariah. So Russ was like her big uncle, and he was. She grew up the first for everything, her first walk, playing with the Barbie Jeep, spinning out in the shop, all that kind of stuff. He was always there for her, And then here about 3 years ago, we were going to go run an SRL race in Utah. And somehow or another, I guess, Russ seen it on Facebook. And I hadn't talked to Russ for 6 or 8 months. And we had been there the day before in practice. And the next day we come in there and we seen this, a backpack leaning against our trailer. And we went to get the tickets, and here's old Big Russ standing in line to get a ticket. He took a 25-hour bus ride to come watch Mariah run that SRL race.
Come down and help out, I'm sure.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
it was cool. That was really something.
I remember one time you and Big Russ, Shelley just bought that new car. You guys got that new Impala. and you guys picked me up about 5 o'clock here in Albany, and we're going to head down to San Jose, and you were going to drive one of Walter's cars down there.
Yeah.
And we were driving, and we just went off I-5 and going towards San Francisco, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, and you and Russ were sleeping, and I was driving, and I thought I had a quarter of a tank in the car, and a quarter tank of gas, and all of a sudden the car starts missing. I'm like, what is going on? So I wake Herschel up, and I said, man, something's going on with your new car. And he goes, man, it feels like a run out of gas. How much gas you got? And I looked, and I said, well, it's just above empty. And the next thing I know, the car stalls and runs out, and we're out in the middle of damn nowhere. And, you know, and
somebody forgot to, I guess when you live down in Lebanon or Albany area, they don't look at their gas gauges. We are in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they don't even, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, we were on that 505, about 50 miles. We were 50 miles from everywhere.
Yeah.
And we sat there for, I don't know what, 2-3 hours before we finally got, the cop gave us, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, we were in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like,
gave us some fuel or
somebody's going to come along here and rob us or something.
I could not believe we ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere.
Well, at least it wasn't on the track, because that would have been even more embarrassing.
Yeah. On the racetrack.
Well, this was embarrassing. 3 guys that drive and work on cars, and we ran out of gas. You know?
Now it's really embarrassing. You just told the whole world.
Yeah. It was. We had a good time down there too. We had a good time.
But, a lot of good times. And
Big Russ, man, he's going to be missed. You know, he's helped a lot of people, and you know, I miss having him down here. He even helped us move down here. He drove one of the trucks to come down here. Him and Dave. Yeah, I think that's the one and only time. In fact, about 6-8 months ago, Russ had talked to me about coming down here because the weather's better and it would have been better for his health and everything. And I was actually going to get a job for him here at the racetrack. He was going to work in the, for one of the tech guys, but it had something to do with his health where he really couldn't leave there because of his diabetes. I don't really know what the deal was, but I wish he would have now. Maybe things would have been different, would have ended up different. But sad.
Very sad.
I don't remember how old was Russ. 60.
I don't know. We're going to have his niece on, who is at his mother's house, I do believe. Cheryl's going to talk to us here in a little while and update everybody on what's going to be happening and celebration of life and whatnot. So that's something I had written down here to ask. I don't know. He's definitely going to be missed.
I'm thinking he was about 64.
I think that sounds about right. He might have been a little. Might have been a little older than that. I just turned 58.
He's right up there. He's right up there around your age, I think, Warren.
That's funny, Junior. You and I are the same age. I think I got a little more white hair than you do, but
yeah, I'm pretty lucky there. I don't have it white, but it's just getting thin, But I blame that on my daughter because I keep scraping it off on the bottom of her race cars all the time. So
yeah.
Oh man, good thing I got out from underneath those things.
I think I'm bleeding all the time on top of my head. But,
oh boy.
No, it was a fun day today though. We had a good time and Ryan did really good with a lot of feedback and I don't know. We probably ran 75 laps. Made a lot of changes. And these cars now are so sophisticated. It's just crazy. The shock combinations and how you can tweak these shocks. It's just all about the coil springs don't mean nothing anymore.
Right.
On the front, all they're for is getting them in the trailer. So you could take the springs off and drive it without no springs on it because you're on bump stops all the time.
Right. Yeah, this came.
Basically, springs are just. Yeah.
That technology's come along.
That's about it.
That technology's come a long ways from what we used to run at Portland Speedway.
Oh man, I miss the big spring $65 shock deal.
Yeah.
Set it up and go, and boy, that's long gone now.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. Shocks are everything. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're on pavement, on asphalt, or on dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Shocks.
Yeah.
The shock packages under these cars are just. It's amazing the technology in that one piece of equipment. I mean, they're almost more complex than the engine.
I know. Oh yeah, the edge is the easy part now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you got to stay on top of stuff. You know, it's back in the day when I was running Portland and Warren was on my crew, and you know, Mr. Ed was there, and I mean, I made 2-3 changes before the main event, depending on how cold it was, and I'd change it. Usually, I'd change a right front or left front spring before the main, and it was like I did that, you know, like clockwork, because I knew what the car was going to do. And
yeah,
now it's, man, they were clicking shocks, and oh my goodness, it's just nuts. I mean, your brain is so wore out by the end of the night trying to remember all this stuff, and it's not very easy anymore.
I remember when we first got the Penske shocks, and Pat McElreath had a how-to manual on those things, changing out the valving in them and stuff. And,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I think I still have that manual.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing to have. Hold on.
Yeah,
to that.
remember I ran those things for. Because remember when I started running those shocks, then they banned them after about 6 or 8 races. I couldn't run them
right.
until the following year.
Well, at least we never got accused of having traction control.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
No, never had that. But then they gave us bedtime bar Jericho transmissions and crazy.
Yeah.
But I was lucky. I was fortunate enough back then that my brother-in-law was the one who built all those transmissions for all the Cup guys, and so when they didn't allow my Jericho transmission anymore, he just built me a T101, looked like a T10, and it had Jericho guts in it.
Yeah.
So simple deal.
Hey, answer me this real quick. Remember when you guys went with your dad to Japan for the inaugural race then, the Cup race? Did Russ go?
Yeah.
Did Russ go with you guys on that deal?
No, he did not.
Okay, I know I wanted to go and I cried because I couldn't, but because I tried to change tire for your dad and I was a little slow. I thought maybe Russ went with you on that deal.
I could have used y'all because the first thing Dad did was after about an hour of practice, he stuffed it in the fence backwards.
Yeah.
And so we had to fix the car. It was ugly.
Yeah.
And we pulled it all back out. But you raced it, you couldn't tell it. But we lost a couple, 3 practices because of that. I mean, it was the rear bumper was sitting on the ground. He backed it right in.
Yeah.
And and he was driving at that time he was driving the Terry Labonte Cornflakes car. It was silver.
Right.
It used to, that was one of Terry Labonte's cars at the time, and then we had Dana on. Dana Williams.
Yeah.
But that was a fun deal. Crazy.
Yeah.
Different way of life over there.
Yep.
You know, I remember my motel room. My motel room was the size of oh my goodness, it was about a third the size of a normal small bedroom.
Wow.
And the bathroom looked like it was right out of a motorhome.
You gotta love it. Well,
the whole bathroom. When you opened up the door, the bathroom was one fiberglass shell, and you could run the shower anywhere in there you wanted to, and it was crazy. Then the bed, because I remember my laying in the bed, my feet hung over the end of the bed. So, and then right outside my window was about 5 stories up was a rice paddy. But the cool thing about that whole trip, the whole cool thing was that they had the Honda Museum was there. And, oh my goodness, everything from small Honda generators to the Honda F1 cars and motorcycles. I mean, there was probably 300 rigs in there. That was quite a deal. But big racetrack.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, Junior, it's been great. It's been great getting you on the air, bud. We've got another caller here calling in shortly, and we do appreciate you taking time away from your daughter's program to talk with us and remember Russ and bring us up to date on where you've got going on in this day and age, bud.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Junior, and good luck to Mariah. Good luck to you and Mariah this weekend. Tell Shelly hi.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
I appreciate it, and keep me posted on all the stuff with Russ.
Okay, we'll do. Yeah,
absolutely. Just follow us online on Moxie Medium Promotions Facebook page, or you can, of course, always get a hold of Warren or myself or Corey, and we'll keep you up to date, bud.
Yep, you bet. Yeah, listen to the rest. You bet. Thanks, Junior. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's always great. We've covered a lot.